Search grease here, and this is the Schaefer 221 on the other side, and this is our two-headed Texas rat trap. Simulate heavy load. You can see the difference in the displacement there, but also the big thing is going to be tackiness. So more grease on the bolt on the head. It's covered up a little bit better over here than it is over there, and it just didn't squeeze out.
Pretty impressive on ChemSearch side.
So here we have the Lubralab Alamex 1 and the ChemSearch Maxi Lube there. Whoa! So you can see that one splattered all the way out to the bench there. Maxi Lube's still pretty tight on the bolt. Big difference there in the tackiness.
And what this is proving is this grease is still going to be
in place.
Yeah, in place on your bushings, covering your pins, where this grease is going to splatter out every time you hit a impact.
And then this one is the Dello versus the Maxi Lube, the ChemSearch. Same type of deal.
Well, the Dello had outperformed the Lucas and all the other cheap greases that you can buy for $4 a tube and less, but yeah, same deal. We have the Lucas Red and Tacky number 2, which is supposedly their best grease, going against the Maxi Lube right here on the Splatter drop point test. Yeah, Lucas splattered off the table.
That's horrible.
That's what everybody. I mean, it actually says drop point on the thing here. We got the 238, the better of the Schaefers, competing against the best of the ChemSearch.
See, my grease is only about $4 a tube.
We got Schaefers right here, ChemSearch here, going against the splatter test. Alright.
This is just a water washout test with some tap water to show the Maxi Lube their water resistance here. This is not going to push out. It's going to stay coated. My palms stay coated. My fingertip stays coated. And it actually kind of pushes the water out because of the demulsifiers that's in the grease. It'll just sit on top there. It won't mix with the grease. It actually just beads up and pushes right out.
That's the
ChemSearch.
ChemSearch.
Same deal.
And these are both are aluminum based greases.
This you can see it stays a little bit, but palm's a little bit covered, fingertips not really all that covered, and it just kind of mixes with it faster. So there's not a demulsification there, and it just kind of rinses out there.
Really hope better for the Schaefer's grease on that one, but ChemSearch takes that.
Do the Dello.
Now Dello, this is
Lithium base.
lithium base, alright, oil base.
So it'll just rinse right out. So the palms exposed, fingertips exposed, and you can actually kind of see it's changing color there. That's the water mixing with it. So that's why it's turning a little bit lighter blue there.
And I want them to do like a water-based test. You know, you're not going to be running your machine underwater, but the heating, swelling, condensation of morning to evening, that's why. Alright, the Canadian grease that actually comes with them sea moth heads. Everybody's so proud about.
So it's a little bit harder to see there, but it's the same type of deal. It's palms exposed, fingertips exposed, and it's starting to turn milky because it's mixing with it.
That's actually probably the worst grease out of them.
Yeah, not really pushing any of that water out. It's mixing right in there with it. Right there where the friction point is, there's basically no coverage.
And the whole idea of this grease, oils alike, is to plate with the material, plate with the metal, and lifted up so it can be pushed on out, the grit, the grime, and not contact your actual metal pins and bushings.
You see it's already starting to run a little bit. And
Schaefer's versus ChemSearch here.
And the ChemSearch will run too. I'll let that cool off though, and I'll show you the difference.
Alright, I'll pause it.
You know, for this thin area here where it ran out,
Yep.
it's just like a candle wax. You know, there's nothing there. There's no lubricity. It's not going to keep anything lubricated. Now with the Maxi Lube, you can see it's kind of the same, but then you get,
It goes right back to being tacky.
yeah, it'll keep its lubricity there.
Nice. Let's see these other oils that, or greases everybody thinks so high of. So we made our platform a little leveler. Again, about the cheapest grease I can find around here, Delo, under $4 a tube. That does halfway decent until you put it up to these better greases. And then what everybody likes up in Canada,
Let those cool off.
alright, let them cool off here.
This one's charred here, and that char will get pushed through your fittings, and it actually helps clog it up, because that's not lubricious there. That's just those are like just charcoal chunks, and they're like actually like little stones almost, and that's what helps clog up your fittings. And then this one will do the same. You can see it's just a char. There's just no lubricity or anything at all. And that gets stuck in your fittings, pushes it through there, and that gets jammed up. So it's actually no longer grease. It actually becomes a contaminant that you push through your equipment.
There's the overlook being the better the greases, Schaefer's, ChemSearch, where they actually spread out just a little bit to keep your fitting lubricated, where these didn't even do nothing. Being the Canadian grease here and the cheaper Delo. I'm going to add also what this heat test, whether you ain't actually catching your machine on fire. Say you got some steel wrapped up around something, this right here is what's going to be in your burns. All this little chunk, charcoal looking junk, where the better greases, especially the ChemSearch, definitely is, I mean, where it might boil out if it was actually to a flame, it's not going to leave your burns bare like that or leave crap behind. Also, another thing I noticed is these two greases here didn't even spread to coat the metal under heat. These two greases actually did. The ChemSearch taking this test by still being tacky and coated almost all the way over to the Schaefer's grease.